For this rotation, we're going to use a different type of grid paper. The last grid we used was all made of squares, and so we were able to measure a 90-degree angle pretty easily because there was right angles everywhere. This type of grid is now called an isometric grid paper, and it's made up of these little equilateral triangles. And what we know about equilateral triangle is that every angle inside of this triangle is equal to 60 degrees. And so again, rather than needing a protractor to measure my angle rotation, I'm going to use the triangle itself. So I'm going to start in the same way. I'm going to put my patty paper over my quadrilateral, and I'm going to trace on top of quadrilateral A, B, C, D. I'm also going to trace my labels. This time, because I am rotating around point B, I don't have a separate center of rotation. So once I have my quadrilateral, that's all I need. But again, that key kind of magic piece is that I have to flip my patty paper over and trace it again, because this is the lead that I want to transfer into my book after I've performed my rotation. I'm going to trace my labels again too, because that helps with me determining the orientation of the shape when I'm done. So now that I have lead on both sides, I come back to my book. I line my tracing paper up with the original pre-image. And then the angle is going to be a little more tricky to see, but I'm going to show you that if you look at this segment up here, segment AB, it's going along the side of a triangle. Well, I see that the other part of that triangle, if I look a little bit lower, is down here. I'm going to just draw a line so that you can see this angle right here is the 60 degrees that I'm trying to rotate. So I'm going to put my pencil on point B. And this time what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going counterclockwise, but that segment AB, I'm just dragging it along the angle of the triangle. And once I see that it's gone the distance I need, so all I did was go from one side of the triangle and I rotated counterclockwise over across that angle, that would be a 60-degree counterclockwise rotation. So now I'm going to trace over that quadrilateral again. I'm going a little bit harder, but trying not to rip the paper. I'm also going to trace over my labels. That way I know exactly where each of these points are after the rotation. This time I see it's not really as dark as it was last time, but I still see enough that I can go through, and now in my textbook I can make it darker. And I also see my labels. I see that down here is where I have A prime. Over here to the right is D prime, and up to the right is C prime. And notice that B and B prime are the same. So I don't have to relabel that. I just leave it as point B because it didn't change. It is a part of both images. I'm going to erase this little part over here because that was just me looking at my angles in that isometric paper. Okay, so hopefully that helped.